We may have heard the old adage that this one individual is equivalent to 1,000. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam, mentions that he's not like 1,000, but rather he's an entire ummah. He himself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ كَانَ أُمَّةً قَانِتًا لِلَّهِ حَنِيفًا وَلَمْ يَكُ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. That indeed Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was an entire ummah. He was an entire nation. He would stand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قَانِتًا لِلَّهِ حَنِيفًا, proclaiming the oneness of Allah, and he was not from amongst the mushriks. And then in the subsequent verse, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? شَاكِرًا لِأَنْعُمِهِ. شَاكِرًا لِأَنْعُمِهِ. That Ibrahim alayhi salam was one who would give thanks for the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him, Ibrahim alayhi salam would thank him. اجتباه وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم. Allah selected him, chose him, and guided him to the straight path. Despite all of the tests that Ibrahim alayhi salam went through, despite every difficulty that he may have gone through, whenever he was given a blessing, Ibrahim alayhi salam would always say what? شَاكِرًا لِأَنْعُمِهِ. He would give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He would give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for any and all blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him. And a blessing is also a test from Allah. That is the lesson that I want to highlight today in this video of ours. That a blessing from Allah is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all of the tests that Ibrahim alayhi salam he went through, they were blessings. And Ibrahim alayhi salam thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Ibrahim alayhi salam, at every corner, he was always cognizant of the fact that he had to give shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As did the other Anbiya alayhimu salatu wasalam. So Sulaiman alayhi salam, when he wanted to bring the throne of the Queen of Sheba, he said to his people that I want to bring her throne before she comes here. And an individual from amongst the jinn kind said what? قال عفريت من الجن أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقوم من مقامك. That I will bring it to you before you stand from your seat. Another individual, he says قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب أنا آتيك به قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. I'll bring it to you before the blink of an eye. فلما رآه مستقرا عنده قال هذا من فضل ربي ليبلوني أأشكر أم أكفر. This is from the grace of my Lord to test me whether I give thanks or whether I reject the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whenever we are giving a blessing, there are always two ways we can go. We either give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and are appreciative, understanding this is a test from Allah, and Allah wants to see whether or not we give thanks. Or we say what? We say that this is from me, this is from my side. And we will discuss more of that in the next video, inshaAllah ta'ala, and talk about a certain individual in the Quran during the time of Musa alayhi salam who made such a proclamation. We ask that you join us in the next one. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who truly understand what it means to give shukr to Him, and may we give shukr to Him till the end of time. Jazakumullah khairan, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن إبراهيم كان أمة قانتا لله حنيفا ولم يك من المشركين شاكرا لأنعمه اجتباه وهداه إلى صراط مستقيم.